Hello friends, this video on polynomials part 7 is brought to you by examfear.com. No more fear from exam. Now we'll talk about zeros of polynomial. See, for example, if we have a polynomial, let's suppose px is equal to x minus 2, the zeros of the polynomial is nothing but the value of x at which this polynomial becomes 0. If you see x minus 2 is equal to 0 and that happens at x is equal to 2. That means I can say that p of 2 is nothing but 2 minus 2, that is 0, right? So if p of x is x minus 2, p of 2 is 2 minus 2, replacing x with 2, and that is 0. See, let's solve this equation in this one. P of x is, let's suppose, x minus 2. Let's find the value of p of 1. P of 1 will be what? Replace x with 1, 1 minus 2, that is minus 1. Let's find p of 0. P of 0 will be what? 0 minus 2, that is minus 2. Let's find p of 2. P of 2 will be what? 2 minus 2, that is 0. So if you see here, this becomes 0. So zeros of the polynomial is the number c for which, for px, where pc is 0. For example, if I have px in the equation, let's suppose x square plus 4 x plus 4, right? So if there is a PC where this whole thing is 0, so this number C is called zeros. So I'll say here C is zeros of px. So here I can say that in this equation 2 is the zeros of px, where px is x minus 2. See, 0 is very important, right? So in the graph, I mean, if you in the higher classes, when you try to plot the graph for this, so the point at which term if the equation is 0, that point is a little critical. This is that typically those points are the solution for those graphs, right? So we'll not talk in detail about the graph now. You'll not understand, but just understand that whenever this whole polynomial becomes 0. See, this whole polynomial will become 0 for some value of x, right? So the value of x at which this polynomial becomes 0, that is called the 0 of this polynomial. For example, this polynomial will become 0, I think let's find the value of p of minus 2. Minus 2 square plus 4 of minus 2 plus 4. This becomes 4 minus 8 plus 4, and that is 0. So if you see at minus 2, this px becomes 0. So minus 2 is the 0 of this polynomial. Similarly, 2 is the 0 of this polynomial. If you have another polynomial, let's suppose x minus 1. So this polynomial will become 0 at p is equal to 1. So 1 is the 0 of this polynomial. 2 is the 0 of this polynomial. Minus 2 is the 0 of this polynomial. Okay. So if we have, let's suppose, px as x minus 5. So here if you talk about p5, it will be nothing but 5 minus 5, that is 0. So here 5 is the 0 of this polynomial. Okay. So there are some polynomial, for example, px is equal to 8, let's suppose. So this will never have any 0, because for any value of x, this will not become 0 because there is no x here, right? So in this kind of polynomial, this is also polynomial for information. So this kind of polynomial will never become 0. Okay. Or let's suppose px is x square plus 1, right? So if we talk about x has to be 0, it will be minus root 1, that will be imaginary number, right? For real number, this will also not have any zeros. Okay, so you can find some of the polynomial which will not have 0. Also we have some polynomial which is always 0. For example, if you have px is equal to 0, 0 polynomial. So for any real number, this is 0. So for every real number is 0 of this polynomial. because you take P1, P2, P3, P4 for any real number, this is always 0. That's why 0 polynomial is little different, right? So there are indefinite number of zeros of a 0 polynomial, that is 1, and in fact the degree of 0 polynomial is also not defined. So please note, 0 polynomial and zeros of polynomial, these are two different terms. So this is example of 0 polynomial. 0 polynomial is nothing but 0. Zeros of polynomial is nothing but point where the value of x where this whole polynomial value is 0. Let me repeat once again. 0 polynomial is nothing but 0. Px is equal to 0. This is 0 polynomial. And zeros of a polynomial is nothing but point where this px becomes 0. For example, at 2, this px becomes 0. At 1, this px, x minus 1 becomes 0. At minus 2, this px, x square plus 4x plus 4 becomes 0. At 5, this px, that is x minus 5, becomes 0. Right? So that those are zeros of the polynomial. Okay? So don't get confused with zeros of the polynomial and 0 polynomial. So we talked a lot about zeros of polynomial. What is special about this? What is so big deal about this? We spend so much time understanding zeros of the polynomial. Actually, there is something special about it. See, for any px, if pc is 0, then I can say c is 0 of p. I'm just writing the definition once again. If that is the case, then x minus c will be factor of px. This is the concept we'll study later. I'm just introducing you with the concept. For example, let's take px is x square minus 4. So let's find p1. p1 is 1 square minus 4. That is not equal to 0. p2 is 2 square minus 4. That is equal to 0. So if you see p2 is 0 of the polynomial, that means I can say that x minus 2 is factor of x square minus 4. Just by finding the 0 of the polynomial, I can say that x minus that number, the 0 of the polynomial, is a factor of this whole px. X minus 0 of the polynomial will be the factor of px. Just introduction. Anyway, we'll study about this in detail in next few slides. So let's take some examples now. We have to check whether minus 2 and 2 are zeros of this polynomial x plus 2. So I have px is equal to x plus 2. So I have to check whether p minus 2 and p2 is 0 or not. P minus 2 is what? Replace x with minus 2. And p2 is what? Replace x with 2. So in this case, this is 0, and in this case, it is not 0, it is 4. So I can say that minus 2 is zeros of px. But plus 2 is not 0 of px. Okay? Find the 0 of polynomial 2x plus 1. So for 0, px is equal to 2x plus 1. So there is a number c which is 0 of this polynomial. So but pc has to be 0. Find the value of c. C becomes minus 1 by 2. So I can say that p of minus 1 by 2 is equal to 0. I can show you once again. Replace x with minus 1 by 2 plus 1, that is nothing but minus 1 plus 1, that is 0. So minus 1 by 2 is 0 of px is equal to 2x plus 1. So for this polynomial, minus 1 by 2 is the 0. Okay. Thank you. Visit our website examfear.com to watch more and more quality education videos. You can also attend free online tests that are there in our website. You can also get access to tons of free study materials, and you can also find free tutors and mentors in this website. Thanks a lot for watching.